Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Terra Tech. And on this episode, we have created a new bot, or actually kind of added on to an old bot, that's going to be able to go out and collect all of the resources that are kind of laying on the floor and bring them back over here to be collected. Now, before we do that, we do have some enemies just kind of sitting out here waiting to pounce, and we don't want to let them do that. So we want to come out here, kill these guys off real quick, and this was going to give us more stuff that our bot can kind of pick up, and we'll see what the limit of his ability, what his size limit is right now. Now, to make those giant wireless receivers is actually not too difficult. The resources needed for that, if I remember right, were two of the rubber and one of the light crystals. Those are fairly easy to find. They're actually not too difficult. They're very common in some places. Other places may be a little bit difficult to find because you're just not in the right biome for it. And there's another guy right there. We kill one and another one spawns. I kid you not, guys. They have upped the difficulty of this area to an extent that is a little ridiculous. Like I understand you want to make it hard, but if I kill an enemy and then immediately upon killing him, either another enemy spawns or two more enemies have spawned in the background, then not only do I feel like I'm not making any headway, but I am feeling like I am falling behind by not constantly going out killing. And I don't know if you really want to do that. Like, the game is really fun with the combat, but I don't know if I would go to the extent of making it where it's like mandatory that you fight combat all the time. So yeah, maybe lower it down just a smudge. Like, I like the difficulty, but maybe not this much, because it does kind of make it feel like it's a job. Like, I gotta come out here. Like, I want to be working on my base right now, and I understand that you want them to feel like pressure, that it's a dangerous area and there's a lot of corporations coming in here, and people are competing with one another and things of that sort. But at the same time, it's a little bit too much pressure to kind of get the full enjoyment out of, oh, let me stop and take 20 minutes off from attacking and just build my base up, because that's a really fun aspect of the game that they have spent a lot of time developing, and I think they want people to actually enjoy that part and experiment with that part just as much, if not more, than the combat. But right now it seems to be very, very combat heavy because of because of what's going on with the difficulty of the mobs respawning over and over again. So let's get this guy back here where he can get charged up at least a little, and he's not close enough, so I'm gonna have to move this thing out so he can get a little closer. Come on, let me take that back over. There we go. And I have gotten a little bit of difficulty with moving from one bot to another, but only when they are really heavy loaded down with a lot of resources. So as we come out here, I would not be surprised if we find that a lot of this stuff is going to make it difficult for me to switch from one bot to the next. Now, you can just see as I go by, all these receivers will pick up the items for me, so I don't have to do it myself. Now, if there's a whole bunch of items out here, you may go ahead and decide to use that little device rather than pick them up with the receivers, because these things are going to get bogged down really, really quickly, actually very quickly, because there's just so many items. This would have been far, far better to use that whatever you call it, the SCU type thing. This is really made more for the one or two items that are out here in the middle that have kind of been blasted off by themselves. There's 3 or 4 items here, 3 or 4 items there. Nothing huge, nothing fantastic, but kind of a pain in the butt to have to sit there and pick up every single one of them. That's what this is designed for. Let's see, how do I put these on here? That's going to be the key. Don't know the best way to do that. Let's see, if I put that there, go ahead and move this guy, because he seems to be moving on his own, and I don't really like that too much. Can we pick him up? We can. We'll pick him up and we'll put him inside this little thing as soon as possible. Now, normally you could come over here to the cellar and you could back up into it, and if it was close enough, it'd pull the stuff off and put it in there, but that's not really working the same way as it used to. Let's see, what if I come over here to this thing, and what I could do, which probably will work if I get close enough to it, is, is it pulling stuff off? No, it's not pulling anything off. What will happen if I move this little device, all the stuff that's on it will jump to another one, apparently, which is not what we want. We want it to fall onto the floor. There we go. Now that it's fallen onto the floor, this little thing will go ahead and pick it up. That's not what we want either. Well, yeah, we can have that. We can have that in there. Let's see, can we move this one? There has to be an easier way rather than kind of taking everything down bit by bit and moving it around that way. Here we go, put that on there as well. Let's take that one down. Again, it's just going to move from one to the other. Don't really like that. There we go. It's kind of working. Kind of working. This is going to be the last one that I think I have on this side. Let me back it up so it's right over it. There has to be an easier way. I think I'm going to have to work on this, guys, and see if I can kind of perfect this design right here. Because as soon as I remove this one, it's going to fall. Everything's going to bust. And once it busts, it's going to, like I said, be picked up by that thing. But, man, that's not what I want. Because then I have to put these things back each and every single time. And that takes a little bit of effort. And, ideally, the best way would be that all this stuff just automatically gets picked up as we come back. But I don't know, it's still better than having to do it manually yourself as you go out there. Like, this is still quicker. This method, no, that's definitely something we don't want that thing to pick up. Can I not? Oh, you know what? I think that was right. I think this goes down a little further, and this thing goes over here. No, that's not right. Yeah, this thing goes right here. Come on. Turn it the right way, guys. Turn it the right way. There you go. You guys know what I'm trying to do. You guys are just being difficult. You don't want me to show off my new design like it actually works. All right, so now we got more stuff we can come out here and pick up. You know what? I'm going to take that little item with me because there's just so many big areas that I don't want to sit there and pick up every single one of these things when there's like 60 items right there for it to snag. So let's go over here and grab this. We'll put this over here somewhere. And, keeping all these receivers on one side is actually kind of nice because it means that I can swing by, pick up those items, and, put that thing down on the right-hand side, and it won't kind of overlap. It won't waste my time by putting that thing down only to find out that, I've already picked up half of those items already. So that is going to snag all of those right there. And what it doesn't snag, I'll grab it with this thing, and then we'll head back and kind of drop that stuff off. Again, not perfection. Needs a little bit of work. Oh, nice timing, too. Definitely going to snag these things. Don't really have a whole lot of reason for them just yet. I mean, I don't remember a lot of recipes using those, but it definitely is, nice to have them because they are worth a fair bit of money, to be honest. So we're going to grab that. Let's come over here. We're going to put this thing down in the heavy zone right about here. There we go. And we'll come around the outsides, and just kind of grab this stuff. This is why I like these receivers. These receivers allow you to clean up the area. And for me, and I don't know if it's the same way for you guys, but for me, when there's a lot of stuff around, I kind of call it junk because I don't really need it as much as I need some of the other stuff. But when I start seeing all this stuff around, it kind of annoys me. It makes it look like it's dirty. It makes it look like I'm not keeping it clean, and there's it just gets in the way. It gets underneath wheels. It gets, underneath the blocks, and it causes, clogging issues, and it's just not ideal for the way I want the area to look. So I definitely kind of feel when it gets to this point, like, I need to do something about it, even if it means spending, an hour and a half just coming out here and cleaning stuff up so that it doesn't look like this anymore. However, that's not always an option because, if you come out here and clean stuff up, more and more of those guys will respawn. And when they respawn, they drop even more stuff and more stuff and more stuff. And it just gets really out of hand very quickly to the point where you just kind of stop trying because you can't keep up with it. And the more you try to keep up with it, the worse it gets. So these kind of bots are very, very useful. Even if they're as stupid as the AI usually is for me. I mean, I've heard really good things from you guys. That's why I keep mentioning it, that you guys have told me really good things about the AI. I've never been able to get them to work, ever. Not the way they're supposed to. So I am definitely doing something wrong in that respect. But as far as like the AI goes, they just kind of roam around on my map. And they never really harvest anything. They never really attack anybody. And when I say never really, I mean they absolutely never harvest anything. They absolutely never attack anything other than me. They will definitely, kind of ram me from behind again and again and again. You guys have seen that many times before. It's strange. A lot of you, have written in. You're like, I never have any of those issues. I am not doing anything weird to the game, guys. This is the standard game. I don't have any mods on it. I don't have any hacks or any cheats or anything of those sorts. This is just the standard game, and yeah, it definitely just doesn't like me when it comes to the AI. But that's all right, because I kind of feel the same about it. I don't really like the AI that much. So let's go back. We need to get a little bit more power, and we need to get some of these items off of us. But definitely cleaned up the area. This area looks just immaculate on this one side. Maybe even come over here to the other side and snag some of those. But remember, a lot of the time you can recycle these items. So if you want to go ahead and put a recycling unit on here, it's going to be able to pick up some of those. Not all of them, but some of them. What is this over here anyways? There we go. Little resource. Let's grab the front of this area. Oh, crap. There is an enemy right over there. So this may be... Yeah, we may have to switch over to the other bot if we can. There we go. And this guy is ready to go too. So let's come over here and take this guy out. This will give us a little bit more to pick up as well. And it's going to blow so big. I can already tell the way this guy is designed. He is just going to... Yep, look at all those fuel tanks on the back. Oh, and some of them are intact. Some of them are intact too, guys. We got a big fuel tank right here. I am going to go put that on my bot. In fact, I'm not going to let him pick these things up because I don't know if we can buy these things yet. And once it picks it up, you can't really do a whole lot with it. Like, you just don't get them back again. So we have these. Let's see, anything else that I haven't gotten access to? We've got the small fuel tanks. We've got a few of the large jet engines. I think we have access to those. But before I pick them up, we're going to double check that to make sure. Because like I said, there are a few blocks we have found that once you pick them up, that's it. You're just not going to be able to get them again. Unless, of course, you make them. And making them is not always as easy as you might think it is. So let's come over here. Let's check to see in here. Can we buy the big fuel tanks? Yeah, we can. The big pop-up fuel tanks are right there. They are $1,800 a piece. $1,860 actually. We can buy these. These are $1,840. And that's nuts. Because if you come over here to the Geocore, you'll see that most of this stuff is pretty cheap. Like this one is $100. That cannot be right, guys. $100 big bucks for this one. And then if you go to the GSO and you look at the battery packs in here, these are $173. Are you kidding me? These are $173, and the Geocore that hold, they're 8 times the size, but they hold like 20 times the amount of power are $100. That may be $1,000 maybe is what it's supposed to be, or $10,000, but $100 does not seem right to me. So that's definitely going to have to be changed here in the future, I imagine. Otherwise, like, why wouldn't you go with that once you find it? Let's see, what else can we get? That's everything there. Just making sure and we have some of the big tractors. I don't remember finding any of these, but we can definitely upgrade those on the other ones. It will allow us to carry more. They will have a bigger range, a bigger area effect to draw stuff in. That is going to be nice. Let's see what else we have. Oh, and we have the hover plates, 558 big bucks. These are difficult to move around with. I've never really perfected those, but we're definitely going to be trying to build a very small, very lightweight, and fast, hovercraft of some sort on the next episode or the next episode after that. It's going to be, very, very soon here, but let's switch back over to this thing and go back out and see if we can collect the rest of this debris that's out here. Come on, give me that weapon. Give me the weapon. You want to. I don't know if we're going to be able to pick it all up. This is a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff. In fact, let's get a little closer, and I'll drop this thing off in the center and have it pick up as much as it can. If it will let me. No, it doesn't seem to want to get close enough. So let's do it right about here. That should be good. Now, the fuel tanks, they actually recharge naturally on their own. You don't have to actually go off and get fuel for them. They take about a second to a second and a half to kind of start. Ooh, one of the fuel tanks did not like being picked up and kind of exploded there. So, yeah, a little bit of damage, guys, a little bit of damage. I may actually have to put a repair bubble out here on the edge so that, we can pick that stuff up. When it takes damage, it doesn't destroy any of this stuff. Because right now, it's pretty far out there. It's not within that shield or repair bubble. And when you pick things up, sometimes they get caught underneath the wheels. They get caught underneath your bot. And they do cause a little bit of damage, not only to your bot, because it's trying to be like pulled right through the actual material and armament of your bot and the weapons and anything else that's caught in the way will get a little bit of damage. But because these are the actual tractor pads that they're being pulled to, if anything is underneath them, they're taking a little bit of damage as well. So if they're far enough out, and that constant, little bit more damage each and every time, you may, eventually find that they just kind of, destroy on you, and you're like, what was going on there? I wasn't even under attack. And it's because of that. That's kind of, I won't call it a bug, because they know about it. They've very, very much aware of the issues that you have with that. I think they've just kind of settled in on the fact that, that's kind of the way it is. There's really not much they can do about it without kind of making them not have mass. Because if they wanted to be able to go through your blocks, that's really the only way they can stop that from happening. I don't think they want to go that route. That just seems like a little bit too easy. It loses something in the, the play, because you're like, oh, this is like, they have no mass to them. They have no substance. And it's like, oh, they just go right through my block or my bot, and all these pieces kind of get picked up very easily. And yeah, it's just because you could really take advantage of that. You could create a bot that just doesn't really make a lot of sense. Right now, you have to keep the stuff on the outside, because if you don't, they're going to get stuff in the inside of your bot. It's going to cause your bot to like flip over, and yeah, it can get really messy. In fact, I created a bot once when the pull on it used to be a lot more powerful than it is now, and it was just the right kind of size and the right amount of blocks underneath that it literally pulled my bot straight up into the sky. I think I left it to do that for like, I don't know, I wanted to see how far it would go up without stopping. And I think it went up for like 15 minutes before I was like, okay, what would happen if I just kind of, messed around with it right now and just see if I can like topple it over. And of course, yeah, it toppled over and I went crashing down in the ground. And of course, when I hit the ground, I blew up and all my pieces went scattering all over the place. But it wasn't a huge bot that I was kind of worried, about losing all those pieces. I was okay with it. And look at this, guys. I just cleaned this area up and it's already dirty. Already. I mean, come on, guys. Give me like 20 minutes to get everything done before you guys come over here and make a mess. Okay, so let's come back over here. We're going to get our cleaner. The cleaner, guys. The little thing that's definitely doing a great job so far. I think he's pretty full, though. Like, he's getting to that limit where there's not much more he can pick up. All right, is he going to be able to pick up those two? He picked up one of them. So we might be able to get this here in the back. There we go. Now remember, not only are you picking the blocks up, but if they fall within your range of healing, within that repair bubble, they're going to be repaired as well. So you're going to be using a little bit of power in that regard because of that. So if you're low on power and you're using a bot like this, and you're like, oh, you just can never keep up with the power, you might have to put an extra couple of batteries on here just to kind of keep up with that, because, when you destroy one of these creatures, one of these bots out here, a lot of their blocks are damaged. And if you're constantly repairing that as you come out here, you're going to be eating through your power like crazy. So yeah, that's definitely going to be a thing at some point, although pretty easily to kind of remedy. I mean, if this is a harvester bot, you shouldn't really be going into combat. I mean, yeah, you don't always have a choice. You go a little bit too far out here and you see that little guy out there and you're just like, oh, he's after me. Now I have to defend myself. That can be a thing. But if you're a little careful and you're just kind of a little cautious and you know what's going on, I think you should be fine. So let's come over here. We're going to do it a little bit away from my base because I don't want all this stuff kind of just popping right there next to it and getting stuck on things and taking some damage. But we don't want to do it too far because we don't want... And you can see this is causing a little bit of lag. There's a lot of stuff on these things. Okay, so let's put this down. Apparently, kind of, maybe. Here we go. Come on, guys. You know you want to. Oh, there we go. All right, so what if I drag this over to the side of that? Will it start picking this stuff up? And you can see it's tossing stuff way farther than it needs to. This is kind of ridiculous in the sense that it's tossing things this far away. It doesn't need to do that. I don't know why it's doing that. I don't think I've ever seen that happen before either. There we go. A little bit more tossing. A little bit more tossing. In fact, it's tossing stuff on top of my bot now. Oh, dude, just leave my bot alone, guys. Leave it alone. All right, there we go. That is on there. We got a little bit more coming on. Can we snag this? Yes, we can. And that's going to be the last one. Now it should pick up all of this stuff. There we go. Holy crap, guys. That is a lot of stuff to be picked up right there. And I guess it won't get the last little bit. These little tiny leftover pieces on here, but we can... okay, well, I guess that's going to be all that it picks up, because I'm not going to risk putting it down again and have them pick up these receivers, because once it picks those things up, they are gone. They are just gone, guys. You will not get those back. Let's see. Can you put this right there? And we'll put this over here. We do need like one more kind of, tractor pad, or not tractor pad, a conveyor belt on that one side. Where did the other one go? We had one more? We did have one. Oh, there it is right there on the ground. I was going to say it blended in perfectly with that. There we go. Okay, so everything is good now. I think this guy is pretty well designed. The only thing I would change... let me not get too close to that, because I want to take these back to be made into stuff if it will let us. So let's actually bring it back over here. Let these be taken off. Come on, get close enough, get close enough. A little bit more. Too much wood, though. Way too much wood. Wish I could filter out that wood and have it go someplace else. All right, so that is good. But what we can do, what I think I'm going to do before the end of the episode, guys, is come over here to the terminal, and we're going to buy some new tractor pads. We're going to buy some new ones, and we're going to put down these old ones so that they will go into this little thing. Let's do this. We'll put it down right there. I like having it close by, because the closer by it is, then when I buy this stuff, it just gets shot out, immediately picked up. And once it gets immediately picked up, I feel a little bit better, because then I don't have to worry about it being, kind of clogging the ground, causing lag. And then once it's in that little box, I can just click it and put down a whole bunch of them one by one by one, and it seems to work out fairly well. In fact, I'm going to leave these here, because these are kind of, they're kind of in the way over here right now. So let's go ahead and go into GeoCore. Let's go to the tractor pads. Here they are. And we're going to buy a whole bunch of these, actually. We have plenty of money. And it's going to toss them in every direction, apparently. Yeah, way, way over here and over there, and just in every direction you can possibly think of for no reason. And that's apparently a thing, guys. I have no idea why I did that. I did buy a whole bunch very quickly, but I've never really seen it do that for these. Okay, so how many do we got? Probably a fair decent amount. Let's open this up. We'll go into GeoCore. How many do we got, guys? We got 18. 18 is probably enough, but I'm going to buy just a few more. Oh, come on. I'm not even buying them that quickly anymore. And it's still tossing them all the way out here. All right, so we got one. Let's go ahead and put these down. I'm going to start in one of the corners. Let's start over here, maybe. Let's start right there. I guess it's not exactly where I want. I actually want it a little further down. Okay, we'll do that for now, and then I'll move it over in a second once I put this one down. Okay, so now I should be able to move that over. Yep, there we go. Still not exactly where I want it. I would like it to be a little bit further, but I don't want it to be too heavy, because you got to remember, once it starts picking stuff up, it's going to get a little heavier. And now that it can hold a lot more, I don't know if these wheels are going to be sufficient. They're big boy wheels, yes. They definitely have, a lot of strength to them, but are they going to have enough strength for what's going on here? And I don't know if the answer is going to be yes on that one. Let's move this down. Let's put these over here. Try not to put them too close to my receivers, because if I do, they're gonna get pulled up, and I don't want that to happen. So let's put that there. 20 may have been a little bit much. 20 is probably way more than we actually need. Let's do this. Can I fit that one on there? I might be able to. If I move this down a little bit. And we might have to just kind of take those off anyways and mess around with them, because I don't know if I want to keep those small tractor pads on there. In fact, I don't know if I wanted to keep those tractor pads on there at all, because they're not going to really be used as long as this stuff is in there. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna remove these. I'm gonna definitely take these things off. We're just gonna keep the actual receivers. We're not going to use the conveyors. I thought the conveyors would hold a little bit more, and they do. They definitely do hold a few items here and there. The problem with that is they're holding a few items, and when I want to, take them off and sell them, it's not really working out, because I can't just pop those off as easy as I normally could. So we're just going to grab these, put these down here. We'll grab this stuff as well, throw these down. And now at least everything is going to fall within that range of, being able to be healed, because I think everything is within that radius of those shields. So can we put one more down? We can't. I think we can put 2 more down, actually. Let's do that one and one more in the corner if it will let us. It's not exactly how I want it. Are those upside down? I think they're upside down. Come on. No, those were right. Yeah, I was going to say, it looked like they were upside down there for a second, but no, because the flat is upside down. Oh, come on, guys. You can put it in there. There we go. All right, so that actually looks pretty good. If I go ahead and remove this tractor pad, you can see everything falls down, or not the tractor pad, the receiver. Everything falls down. I may end up leaving things like that. In fact, I'll put one on one corner, and that way when I take one down, it doesn't immediately go to the other one because it's on a completely different corner. So that ideally will be the best method, I think. And now when I go over things, I'll be able to go wherever I want, and it's still going to be able to attach everything to it. So we have one more, actually. So let's put that one here in the middle. Let's put a weapon underneath here if we can. Right there. Yeah, it's going to be good. And it's going to pick up that last one. Okay, guys, I think this is going to be the end of the episode right here. I think it's coming along pretty well. This guy is a pretty big beast. He can come out here and he can gather both resources and the occasional item if he needs to. You can get that on the receiver if it's close enough to it. There we go. You can see it has a long range, but the higher up off the ground, the closer you need to get to it. You can see it takes a little bit of damage every single time. So make sure if you design something like this, you take that into account. Make sure it has plenty of power. In fact, that's one thing we are running low on at the moment. So, and how did a receiver, or how did a tractor pad get way over here? That is nuts, guys. That is nuts. But I want to thank you all again for watching. If you do enjoy these videos, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe. Definitely helps grow the channel, and I greatly appreciate it. But more than that, guys, I want to hear your comments. I love hearing back from you guys. I love finding out what you think of the game and what you think of the new updates. I love the new graphics, the clouds, the sky. At nighttime, you can see the different planets and the moon and things of that sort. I'm not a big fan of the zoom in and zoom out and the scroll wheel being the exact same thing when you're changing the direction. It used to work really, really well. It used to be when you wanted to zoom in and zoom out, as long as you weren't holding an item, you zoomed in and zoomed out. When you were holding an item, it wouldn't zoom in and zoom out anymore, but it would change the direction of the item, which absolutely was perfectly fine with me. I believed it worked beautifully that way. They've changed it recently, and I can't stress how much I dislike that. But again, that's just my personal opinion. I can't say the game is ruined because of it. I just say that it's causing me a pretty big headache with that new patch, the way they've done it that way. And the mobs have gotten so much stronger, guys, which I actually kind of like and dislike at the same time. But it has caused some issues, but I think we're overcoming those issues by creating better and stronger bots because of it. One of the other things that I have noticed is we've created a very, very tiny resource right here. I don't know what we did to create that. You can see it right there on the tractor pads. We have a very itty-bitty microscopic resource. I don't know what to say about that, guys. It's there. It exists. I don't know, but yeah, a very cool game, guys. I absolutely love it, and I will, definitely catch you guys next time.